All right, things looking ominous for our Terran player CrimsonTide, with Wyrm 2-0 up on the brink of victory in this quarter-final. So looking to book a place in the semis. And yeah, Crimson just needs to sharpen it up a little bit. Everything just needs to be that bit sharper. There's nothing particularly wrong with the strats. There's nothing, if anything, strat-wise, arguably I would question Wyrm's strat in the first game. When you're playing against mech and you've just kind of blindly gone for Colossus, but it wasn't even blind. You've been in your opponent's base and you've seen no Marines at all, but you have seen Cyclones. I feel like Colossus is a really weird choice under those circumstances. I feel like that's a commitment to a build rather than a response to what you're seeing, and that can be a dangerous thing. When you've had in your mind, okay, in this game I'm going to go double Robo Colossus, that's what I'm going to play. You have to be a bit flexible. If you see something that suggests that that isn't the right composition, don't stick with that plan. You've got other builds at your disposal, use them. You've got plenty of options. Even after you've dropped the double Robo, you can pump out Immortals, and you can decide to go a different path, and that's fine. Anyway, as I was saying, nothing particularly wrong with the strategy from Crimson, but the execution hasn't been the crispest. So, Worker doesn't get in and is just kind of footing about here because it's been pathed to have a look around, but it couldn't. Crimson going to come down for a fast expo, I hope, and I like that a lot. Yeah, it's also expo before. I don't know about this one, Wyrm. I mean, as I kind of mentioned previously, to scout and see that there's only one Rax, and then feel like you can drop your Nexus before your side core, yes, but you didn't scout. You only got to the top of the ramp, and yeah, you don't know that your opponent doesn't have another Rax here for the really fast triple Reaper in your base. So I don't know. I mean, it is fine, and you know that it's fine now because you've seen the CC timing, so it's absolutely fine. It isn't a problem in this game, but you didn't know that when you dropped that Nexus. You're kind of rolling the dice, but on the flip side of that, you're 2 games up. You can kind of afford to do that. So actually, yeah, it's fine. It's all good, isn't it? I like this worker down here. Up to no good. I'd like it even more if it dropped a pylon and a Stargate. But anyway, Reaper's going to come in to have a look around, and yeah, is this the same build again? Are we going to see Robo into another 2 gates and another Robo? Again, Crimson letting the Reaper get surrounded, and when you get a Reaper in your opponent's base, yeah, you might get worker kills, but that shouldn't be your priority. If you put 3 Reapers in your opponent's base, then yes, that is all about getting worker kills. 1 Reaper though, its job is to scout. If you see a worker on its own being transferred, you can do some fancy micro alongside it and you can snipe that worker, yes please. If you want to drop a grenade and disrupt the mining, yes please. But under no circumstances should you be swapping out the Reaper. To get, like, if you can swap the Reaper for 2 probes, then maybe, but the chances of that are so slim. So yeah, the number one goal is to keep the Reaper alive so that it can just sit here and 5 minutes later, or well, 1 minute later or whatever, pop back in and have another look around. That is its number one task, not to try and get worker kills. So Crimson, yeah, looking like going mech again with the double factories here and some Hellions coming out, and I quite like it. If your opponent is going to be having charge lots, Hellbats are fantastic against them. Hellbats with the medevac above them can eat a lot of charge lot. They really can. So once the armory goes down, gives you the ability to turn Hellions into Hellbats. So quite like it as a choice. Engineering base coming down at the front, which is interesting. Because this doesn't look like a bio build at all. So maybe the engineering bay is just for turrets or something, but I think I'd rather see the armory come down so that I can get these into Hellbats. But it looks like Crimson is maybe thinking about a run by. And I like that a lot. But whether or not it can be achieved, who knows? I feel like, yes, it can. Where is the Protoss army? Where is it? There isn't one. Literally as simple as that. So, yeah, Crimson, now is the time. I mean, this Immortal now that has come out, that's really going to ruin things, because an Immortal will punch holes in these. But look, these could just run in here and roast everything. Please do. Oh, the worker roasting that could happen here. It could be so savage. They're kind of heading over this way. I don't know. All the workers are clumping. It gets worse. Don't clump the workers. No. Oh my God, it's a barbecue. It's an absolute barbecue. That is beautiful. So Crimson has to be feeling pretty good about that. 12 workers got fried. Not even a single Hellion lost. You know, so what's your next move? To send a medevac to pick these up and drop them into here, I hope, because that would just kick ass. Double Banshee is in effect, and yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing rotor speed for the Banshees, whatever it's called, rotor flight, advanced thingy, making Banshees go faster thing. Because that's really good, because it's very, very hard until you've got blink. It's very, very hard to catch speed Banshees. Really, really difficult. Is that... Oh, no, not quite. So the Banshees are going to come in. They're already cloaked, and they're going to get some work done. There is an observer here, but it looks like the Banshees are just out of range of it. Yeah, and Wyrm going kind of the wrong way. So these Banshees are going to get away with this, and that is just more free damage. 18 workers killed now. So Exeter MS, you have done extremely well. Let's hope this game does not suffer from what happened previously. And I am beginning to worry that there are 1,800 minerals in the bank. You know, you got the worker advantage, you did a lot of damage, but you forgot to build an army. There is a Thor at home, but look, that looks awfully idle. Okay, that looks idle. That looks idle. You're gonna be building this stuff, Crimson. Because your opponent's coming. As I kind of mentioned before, you know, you kill a lot of workers, good chance they're going to come for you. There isn't a bunker here, which seems sad, and there isn't a siege tank here, which also seems sad. These Hellions are next to worthless against Immortal Stalker Colossus. They won't do anything, so you might as well send the Hellions across the map. If you pull the workers and start repairing this Thor, it will essentially never die. So yeah, are the workers doing their thing? It looks like no, they're actually, are they? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so the Thor did die. Were those workers actually repairing that Thor? Is that what was happening? Yeah, some of them are. Some of them look like they're maybe repairing each other. Yeah, some of them are repairing each other. Okay. Anyway, it turns out the Thor did die, but there's another one coming. All is not lost, but what else is in production here? Not much. Where are the Banshees? Because they could be great. I don't know why the Thor has walked to here. What? Right, a Thor can open up from about here, can't it? Oh God, it's just on a rally. So this Thor has already lost half its health before it's fired a shot, and that is disastrous. Yeah, Crimson busy microing against these Zealots, but I feel like these Zealots are not the problem you have right now. I feel like this is the more pressing issue. So, yeah, what are you going to do? You know, close the front door. Okay, the Banshees finally arrive, and the thing to do here is to pick off the Stalkers, because they're the only things that can shoot up. I'd also like to see the command center lift off before it dies. But yeah, if you can kill the Stalkers, nothing else shoots up. Unfortunately, the Banshees are not both firing at the same target. So they were sharing the damage between two Stalkers, which isn't any good. But now that the Stalkers are gone, the Banshee has free reign. Please lift the CC up, please. Please. No. You know, guys, you shouldn't ever be losing flying buildings to things that can't shoot up. Let's see how the Hellions do on the other side of the map while this is happening, though, because that kind of is going to tell us. So we've seen what happens over on this side. Let's see what happens over on this side. Because, you know, Exeter MS has lost a lot of workers. If these Hellions can get in with nothing at home to contest them whatsoever, there is a reasonable chance that they kill absolutely everything. So let's see how they do. They're going to run past the Stalkers. Oh, and the Stalkers don't follow them. So the Stalkers have been F2'd by Wyrm on the other side of the map. And oh, this could be an absolute tragedy. The Hellions now, and those Stalkers pulled as well. Wyrm, no. So it looks like the Hellions on this side of the map are literally going to destroy absolutely everything. Wyrm has 80 minerals in the bank, only 80. And Workers now has 3 workers left. Oh dear. 80 minerals is enough to build 1 worker. Wyrm is in serious trouble. So if he cannot win the game with the army he's got, he cannot win the game. Now Crimson, why did you lose this? What were you thinking? Look how much energy is on this orbital. So it can drop mules all over the place here, which means you don't need the SCVs mining. You can have them building gas. This worker is still just parked here. Doesn't see it. Huh. Okay. So, yeah, Cyclone's coming down, but are there any more Banshees? There's another one in production. This one needs to cloak. Yeah, the cool thing to do here would be to use the Thor to target the observers, because once the observers are gone, the observers are gone, then the Banshees can just win all day. Unfortunately, the SCVs are repairing each other instead of the Thor, so you don't want your SCVs on auto repair because they will repair everything near them. You want them only to repair the Thor, so you do have to right click the Thor. That is going to be GG. Crimson claws one back, literally claws, to go 2-1 and is still in the